Alright, so one wisdom from the Rebbe for today. So we know that the idea of Chodesh Elul, the month of Elul, is the idea of an Ir Miklat. It's a city of refuge where you can leave the ways of the world and you throw yourself into serving God to be able to fix up the way the previous year was and to start doing tshuva on everything the way it was supposed to be. Now we know that the cities of refuge, the Ir Miklat, was only found in Eretz Yisrael. As the Sifri said in yesterday's Torah reading, that judges, the Shoftim and Shotrim, the policemen as well, needed to exist also in Chutz La'aretz. I would think that the Ir Miklat would also exist outside of Eretz Yisrael. Says the Torah that no, those only exist within Eretz Yisrael. Now, why is it that way? Why is it that the judges, the policemen, did exist outside of Israel, but the Ir Miklat was only in Eretz Yisrael? So the explanation is because the whole idea of a chutz la'aretz, outside Eretz Yisrael, means it's outside of the place which wants to do God's will. Eretz Yisrael, Eretz comes from the word ratzon, desire, a place where someone wants to serve God, to do the right thing, to be able to serve God the way He's supposed to. Outside of Eretz Yisrael means chutz la'aretz, outside of the place where He wants to do the right thing. He's doing things wrong. And that's the idea of where you need to have a judge. Where do you need to have a judge? A policeman is where someone's not doing the right thing. So the judges needed to be also outside of Eretz Yisrael. But the idea of tshuva, Ir Miklat, is that you're throwing yourself in. To do tshuva means that you fix your ways and you decide that you're going to start serving God properly. You're going to start doing what He wants. And therefore that could only be in Eretz Yisrael. And therefore even if someone did a sin outside of Israel, he was able to be saved in an Ir Miklat inside Eretz Yisrael. Because even if originally he was in a place where he wasn't serving God properly, if he decided that he's going to start serving God properly and came into Eretz Yisrael, came to the place where he's going to start doing God's desires, he's now able to be saved by Ir Miklat. And this is the idea of the month of Elul. We have to be able to leave the previous places and enter a land of refuge. Enter a place where we're willing to do God's desires, which means that even if the whole year you weren't necessarily in the right place, you have to make a calculation and see, was my thought, speech, and action based on Shulchan Aruch, or based on where I'm supposed to be holding in my service of God, or was I doing the way of levels that I can really reach? And when you make a calculation, you throw yourself in on the ways of Elul, and you throw yourself into a holy environment, you're able to get to be able to enter the brand new year with lots and lots of blessings. L'chaim, l'chaim.